If you clicked on this video, you're a drop shipper and you're looking for better suppliers to drop ship from. Chances are you're already listing on places like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, or elsewhere. But those are places to list your products on. What are the best sites to drop ship products from? Who are the best suppliers to use and why? Now, before we break down these specific suppliers and why I recommend them, I want you to understand the importance of using several suppliers, right? You don't just want to use one or two and focus solely on one or two, because that's what everybody's doing. Chances are, if you look to snipe other people that are listing products on Facebook Marketplace or any of these places, they're going to be using one or two of these suppliers. And so just by using several of them yourself and not building your store solely around one or two, you can diversify your products, obviously increase your margins, and prevent yourself from being sniped yourself, or at least make it harder for people to do so. The first one is Amazon, and Amazon's a no-brainer. Amazon's the one that the majority of people use when they're first starting, and even when they get more seasoned and they start making sales, people still list from Amazon, okay? There's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of products or millions of products on Amazon. I really don't know. There's a lot. It's a great supplier that obviously is always gonna give you refunds. You can rely on their shipping times. It has relatively fast shipping times. And it's just a great overall supplier to use, right? The issue with Amazon that's been happening recently is that a lot of people's Prime accounts have been suspended, mine included. I actually just got suspended, I think it was like a week and a half ago, and it hadn't happened to me for over 10,000 plus orders, and I just got hit with the ban recently. Now, I honestly think that that's a good thing. Here's why. The majority of people use Amazon, and so those products actually were pretty saturated and the margins were getting slimmer and slimmer. Chances are, if you had a good product on Amazon and you actually search that product into the search bar on Facebook Marketplace, for example, you would see 30 or 50 or 100 other listings just like yours with the same exact pictures and relatively the same title, selling for relatively the same price because everybody is marking it up the same. And that gives buyers the opportunity to choose from a number of different products, obviously decreases the chances that you're gonna make a sale, and it's just race to the bottom pricing. But now, since everybody's getting their Prime account suspended, it's actually a good thing. It's gonna lower the competition on those products. It's gonna increase your margins on those products. Obviously, that way you can still use Amazon as a supplier. And here's a little secret between you and me. You don't actually need Amazon Prime to dropship from Amazon. The only products that you specifically need Prime to dropship from Amazon are those low price products where you're solely relying on the fact that Amazon's shipping them for free to keep your margins intact. You can still dropship products that are like $25. I don't know the specific number, but I wanna say it's like $25, and get free shipping on Amazon, or often sellers will offer free shipping even if you don't have a Prime account. So you can sign up for an account, not use Prime on it, and still drop ship 95% of Amazon products, especially the ones that are over $25, not have to pay the shipping fee anyway, and then you're still getting relatively fast shipping time. You can still return the products on Amazon. You can still list all the products from Amazon's catalog. That's a good thing, because then you don't ever have to worry about your Prime account getting suspended. You really shouldn't be listing those cheap products anyway, because the margins aren't that great on those products. If you're marking a $10 product up with Amazon Prime 40% or 50%, yeah, you're making 40 or 50%, but that's 40 or 50% of $10. Whereas if you're listing something for $30 or $50 or $100, that percentage is a lot more profit. It's the same margin, but it's a lot more profit money-wise in the same exact effort on your part for one sale. So that's why you don't necessarily need Amazon Prime anyway. So even if you're getting suspended, it's totally fine. It's gonna weed out the competition, increase your margins, help you still be able to sell those products as people drop off and start using other suppliers, and you can still use them without a Prime account. A lot of people are worried about losing like their personal Prime privileges, but if you get a Prime account banned and you sign up for another Prime account and you solely use it for personal use, you won't get that second account banned. It's only when you sign up for another account and start drop shipping to random addresses again that they suspend your account. So that's why Amazon is still, in my opinion, the #1 supplier, and the competition for people using it to dropship on Facebook Marketplace and sites like eBay is gonna significantly go down now that Amazon all of a sudden is banning accounts. The second supplier that I recommend is eBay. Now, I love eBay. I've been using eBay for probably about a year now as a supplier, and it's been phenomenal. You never run into like issues with them canceling your orders or issues with them, like suspending accounts. That you're allowed to use your eBay account to dropship just like you're allowed to use an Amazon account to dropship, but not one with Amazon Prime, right? You can still use eBay and get, just like on Amazon, you can get tax exempt on eBay as well. So that's also a benefit, although it's a little bit of a slower process in my experience with eBay. And there's a lot of great products. Practically all the same products on Amazon are going to be on eBay. Typically, not all of them, but a large majority of them for relatively low prices. You can look at all the sold data on eBay, so it's literally going to show you what's selling and what's selling well. And you can list a lot of products like that and literally use the information that eBay is giving you to find hot products. It's also a very reliable supplier. They're going to have your back as the buyer. You can always typically return most things in most cases. And a lot of sellers on eBay actually drop ship directly from Amazon with low margins, which means a lot of the products that you're going to get cheaply on Amazon are shipping with the same relative shipping time on eBay at the same relative price and are practically barely marked up because the competition on eBay for Amazon products is so like neck and neck that the margins are barely there. So you're practically getting the same products, and that seller is literally drop shipping that product using their own account from Amazon. So you're basically ordering an Amazon Prime product with your eBay account in a lot of ways. So that's the second one. Love eBay, use it. The third one is Walmart. Walmart is a phenomenal supplier for so many reasons. Just like Amazon and eBay, it has a large amount of products in its catalog that you can obviously use. You can also use Walmart Plus, which is basically like Amazon Prime. The issue with Walmart Plus is they also do suspend you. Now, if you hop into Walmart and you start ordering thousands of products with your Walmart Plus account, you're going to lose that account relatively fast. However, I've noticed that if you have several accounts, you can basically use several accounts and just cycle through the orders on those accounts and utilize it that way. So Walmart Plus is another phenomenal supplier. Highly recommend that you use them. And on top of all of these, I forgot to mention, with Amazon, with eBay, and Walmart, not only do all of them except Amazon integrate with cashback sites like Rakuten, so you're getting extra cash back on all your orders, but on top of that, you can use the Amazon store card to get extra 5%. You can use the eBay store card to get an extra 5% on all your orders, and you can use the Walmart store card again to get an extra 5%. So that's 5% margins that you're increased. And you might not think that that's that big of a deal, but like over tens of thousands of products spent or hundreds of thousands of dollars spent over the year potentially, that's a lot of money that you're leaving on the table simply by not using those cards. It's a no-brainer. Now, the next one is Costway. Now, they have great pictures on their listing, so you're getting high-quality images, which is huge. It's probably crucial, probably the most crucial, because the picture sells it. Obviously, once you get people there, like the picture's what's going to sell the listing. It's got great descriptions and great titles, so you don't really need to change too much. A lot of people are not necessarily using Costway. Like, a lot more people are obviously using Amazon, they're using eBay, they're using Walmart. Costway is one of those where it's like in between, where like people use it, but not nearly close to all the other ones. So there's not as much competition on your products. There is a slight issue I know of with Z-Drop specifically, where it won't pull the pictures. So any friction, in my opinion, is a good thing, because that means that somebody else is going to face that friction and not necessarily use it. So if it's not downloading the pictures, but it's copying the title, it's copying the description, it's copying everything else and marking your price up, well, then you can use a plugin like e-commerce image downloader or any other Google Chrome plugin to also then just grab the pictures using that plugin, put them in your listing, and it's practically just as fast with a little bit more friction. So anytime there's friction, same thing with the Amazon Prime suspensions, I think that's a good thing, because it means that, you know, you're going to decrease your competition, because some people are going to face that and decide not to use it, okay? So that's why I love Costway, the pictures, the great titles, the great descriptions, and again, a little bit of friction because it won't pull the pictures, at least in my experience with Z-Drop on my computers. The next one is Chewy. I love Chewy. I've been using Chewy for a while. Again, same thing. It's a great supplier, highly reputable. I'm not going to get too much into the rest of these because they're pretty self-explanatory overall. It's just my opinion. Chewy's a phenomenal supplier. I use Chewy to dropship on Amazon. I use Chewy, not so much anymore, but I used to. I use Chewy to dropship on Marketplace. It's a phenomenal place to find products. It has great customer service. Actually, when you go to return an item on Chewy, which I really like because I'm a dog person and I'm an animal person, they actually tell you that you don't need to return it. You can just donate it to your local animal shelter, which I think is cool. They're a great supplier, so I love supporting them, obviously, and a great company overall. But on top of that, you can return pretty much any item very, very easily. Obviously, they're going to refund you in most cases and just tell you to donate it, so you get an extra product anyway. They have great pictures. They have great titles, they have great descriptions, and it's really, really easy to use. Now, the little snag with Chewy is the same snag with Walmart as well, where you need to cycle through accounts. If you just hop on and you use one Chewy account and you start dropshipping using one Chewy account, you're gonna get your account suspended pretty fast. Just cycle through your accounts slowly, place like 2 or 3 orders, then sign into another account. 2 or 3 orders, sign into another account. And as long as you have like 5 accounts, you're gonna be totally fine. You only need 5 email addresses. You can use all the same card info. You can obviously, you're not gonna be using the same addresses because you're going to be dropshipping to different addresses, but it's a phenomenal supplier that you can use. Highly recommend it. Another thing that I will say is on any of these suppliers when you're dropshipping, it doesn't matter if it's Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Chewy, or Costway or any of them, you don't want to just keep adding addresses so that when they potentially look at your account, you have 300 addresses in there that you're shipping to. That's going to be, you know, a complete red flag, and it's going to be super obvious. So instead of adding a new address, always edit the current address, and that way you only have one address in there, even though you might be drop shipping to hundreds of addresses. Always edit the address, don't add a new one. The next one is Etsy. Etsy's a phenomenal supplier, not only because it has everything else that all these other ones have as well. It has a large number of products that you can drop ship from. Great pictures, great titles, great descriptions in a lot of ways, although the descriptions can sometimes be lacking. But one of the key things with Etsy is it has a lot of handmade and vintage products, obviously because that's their thing, that you can't necessarily find elsewhere. So you can be dropshipping a lot of other things that, you know, a lot of other people necessarily aren't, because a lot of people aren't really using Etsy as a supplier, obviously, compared to Amazon or eBay or Walmart. So it's another kind of semi-obscure supplier that's super reputable, has great image titles and descriptions, and also you can return things very, very easily on it as well. Has a large number of products, but yet a lot of people aren't really using it yet. The next 2 are ones that are going to be just like broad overall, but in my opinion, number 7 is any obscure supplier that doesn't integrate with software. I already touched on the fact with Costway that it doesn't pull your pictures, and so that's kind of like a point of friction that like will stop some people. Any obscure supplier that you can't use software with that like doesn't integrate with ZDrop, or doesn't integrate with FBM Fox, or doesn't integrate with any of the other ones, it's going to stop 99.9% of people because they can't use software to copy. But how hard is it to actually just copy the title and throw it over into Marketplace, or copy the description and throw it over into Marketplace, or literally use a plugin like e-commerce image downloader and just download all the pictures with one click and just bam, it grabs the pictures. By using all of those, and the fact that other people won't really be using those suppliers, you're literally carving out your own niche. You're using other suppliers that practically nobody, if not anybody, is really even using. And so you can pretty much set your prices. Like every once in a while I'll get a message now where it's like, hey, this is on Walmart for like $30 lower, or like, hey, this is on Amazon for like, you know, $50 less. Like, what's the deal? Whereas if you're using an obscure supplier, nobody that's not Amazon, Walmart, or eBay or something like that, like nobody searching for that is going to find that supplier or know of that other website. So there's so many benefits to using obscure suppliers. Obviously, it adds friction and adds a little bit of time per listing, but because it adds that, I think that's a great thing because nobody else is using that. And especially if you're hiring a VA, like, you're not the one doing that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's a no-brainer. I promise you, try it out. You might not get as fast traction as you will on another site, or as if you're like sniping products from somebody else who chances are is using Amazon, eBay, or Walmart, or Home Depot maybe. You might get a little bit slower traction, but you're gonna build a more long-term sustainable business. And if you find products that hit and actually sell, because usually that's what happens on any of these websites, like the majority of your products won't do anything, but then like some of them will just take off and keep selling. If you find one of those on an obscure supplier, nobody else is going to use those, and practically nobody else is going to be able to snipe you. And number 8 is any wholesale supplier, literally anywhere, okay? So wholesale suppliers are great. Obviously, there's a number of things that you need to, figure out when you need to find the wholesale suppliers first and foremost, and I have other videos on the channel about that. Also, you need to know that the wholesale supplier allows drop shipping, so they'll do order fulfillment for you, right? That's a little term that you can use. So don't go ask them if they allow drop shipping, but ask them if they do order fulfillment. It's the same thing, but it's a little more like professional way to say it. And on top of that, you want to make sure that there's no minimum order quantity so that you can basically order quantities of one and they'll fulfill the orders of quantities of one for you, okay? Now, I'll give you a little shortcut in this video. Obviously, this is not what this video is about, but if you go to Inventory Source, you can sign up for Inventory Source completely free. And then if you go over to the suppliers, you can literally go through the suppliers, sort for the ones that have no minimum order quantity, allow drop shipping, and there's going to show you like almost 300 if not more suppliers, I haven't counted them recently, that allow drop shipping, have no minimum order quantities, and you can grab the product catalogs for, so you can just start listing from those sites or have your VAs list from those sites as well. Not only are you going to get potential better margins because you're dealing with wholesale suppliers, the same thing goes obviously if you're checking out the wholesale supplier and they're reputable. They're going to have a solid return policy. Your margins are going to be better. There's practically no competition on those, and you already know that they allow drop shipping and there's no minimum order quantities. It's one of the best ways to build a long-term sustainable business, because right now, currently, retail drop shipping is so easy on Facebook Marketplace and other sites like that, right? But as more and more people get into the game, it might not be as easy a year from now or 2 years from now or 3 years from now, whereas wholesale will still be a very lucrative business model that you can use to dropship from, right? So it's more of a longer term thing, a longer term play, but I wanted to throw it in there because it's something that I've been testing out recently and something that I think that a lot of people should focus on, not necessarily building their entire store that way. Trust me, like 98 to 99% of my listings are still retail listings. But I'm testing out wholesale supplier listings in there. Some of them have sold just like anything else with retail. The majority of them have not sold, but some of them do take off. And then obviously, just like I said with the obscure suppliers that don't integrate with software, there's less competition, the margins are better, and it's really, really difficult for people to snipe you if they do even find your hot selling products because they don't know who your supplier is. Ultimately, this is just my opinion. I'd also love to hear from you. Who are your favorite suppliers and why? Let me know down in the comments section below. Also, if you'd like a step-by-step blueprint to your own six-figure dropshipping business on Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Dropship Pro is linked directly in the description. We just covered the top suppliers to use for your dropshipping business, but now that you know that, what are the best sites to be dropshipping your products on? I created a video on just this. It lists about 10 sites that are worth your time and will actually bring you sales. That video should be linked up in the right-hand corner right now. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any value from it whatsoever, please give it a like. I genuinely appreciate it. Until next time.